Hey Antigravity, can you create a workflow that takes a YouTube video, turns that into a LinkedIn post using Gemini, and publishes it automatically? And so you can see it learned from my existing workflows and drafted this faster than I can. Hey, can you change these VO3 models that I'm using right now into Kling 2.6 instead? And just like that, it swapped the model and even updated the API configuration for me. Hey, this Airtable node keeps failing. Can you check what's wrong with it and can you fix it? It correctly identified the issue, it fixed it, and now it runs successfully. And if I want to do batch edits, hey, can you swap these schedule triggers to webhooks so you can also trigger these workflows yourself? And that's done, all of them, just like that. Google's Antigravity just became your automation copilot. It can create, edit, fix, and batch update workflows for you just by asking. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to connect Antigravity to your n8n. It takes about 5 minutes to set up, and once it's running, you'll never manually dig through API docs again. Let's get started. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Jay. I spent a decade in creative and marketing work and half a decade leading data teams. I'm now operating our AI creative agency and RoboNuggets, our education arm, where we have several hundred members, all AI practitioners across the globe. And here our mission is to make creating with AI easy to learn for anyone, with AI training and certification that most people join for, but most members stay because of the strong community we have built. So in case you haven't used it before, just to take a step back, Antigravity is basically Google's free tool released sometime end of last year that is originally meant for software development, but I actually think that even non-technical people can use this even without knowing any coding. Because a better frame to think of a platform like Antigravity is that it's an agent management platform. And if you're working with agents whom you can think of as your employees in this case, one important thing that you can do for them is to let them connect to the tools that they need to use. And just one of those tools that these agents can connect to is n8n. And so when we get to the demo, you'll see how Antigravity can edit, can run, and can fix workflows, and even help you create them. So when you have this setup that I'll show you in a bit, you'll essentially be having sort of an assistant to help you with a lot of your n8n automations and builds. And an important call out to mention is, I think right now there's a lot of chatter around agentic platforms like Antigravity or Claude Code replacing n8n. And although it's true that for some use cases, you can use agentic platforms much easier versus having to rely on n8n, the truth of the matter is there's still several things that n8n can do well that these agentic chat-based platforms cannot yet. So for instance, n8n has a really good visual interface. So whenever you need to communicate to teammates or clients on how their data is being processed or how your automation is running, it's also much easier to schedule tasks and automations. And whenever each of those automations run, you have a complete execution history that helps a lot with troubleshooting. That said, nothing really prevents you from connecting these two. And since Antigravity is free, I think it is definitely worth your while to learn about this tool and also how it can help you with n8n and a lot of your other applications that you are using. And so in the setup that we're about to go through today, think of Antigravity as sort of the brain in this case, and n8n is the body that will run the workflows and automations that you have set up. And I'll show you how to connect the two in a bit, but just to illustrate what you can do once they are connected, there's basically 4 things that it unlocks. And the first one is that it lets you easily edit workflows. So here I'm in n8n, and let's say you want to edit a workflow like this. And what this basically does is it gets some inputs from a database, which in this case is Airtable. So we get some prompts and a reference image, let's say. We pass that along to these nodes, which use VO 3.1 in order to automate the video creation process. But a very common question that we get, especially in our community, is let's say I want to update the VO 3.1 with a new model that came out. How do you now update this workflow so that you, for example, use Kling 2.6 instead? Well, if you were to do it manually, what you would usually do is you would go to the provider of your choice, let's say Wavespeed AI, go to the model itself, so in this case Kling 2.6, go to the API documentation and read through how to set it up, and do that yourself by reconfiguring this HTTP request node. But if you have Antigravity hooked up to your n8n, you can actually use it to update these nodes directly. And because Antigravity is an agentic platform, all you'll really need to do to use it is to talk to it. So first, I'll check that it has access to this workflow. Hey, can you search for this workflow? I'll give you instructions on how to update it, but first, I just want to make sure that you have visibility on this automation. And what you can do is to either give it the name of your workflow, or a much better way to do it is to actually give the URL, because this contains the ID of the workflow, and that just allows Antigravity to look for it faster. And here you can see it is using the MCP tool, which is basically standing for Model Context Protocol. And all that is, I'll explain more in the setup guide later. That's just how Antigravity Antigravity is connected to our n8n instance. And there you go. It confirmed to me that it has access to this workflow and even has a view of the structure. So now what you can do to give it more clear instructions is if I just highlight these nodes that I want to update, I copied them to my clipboard and I'll just paste them here. And then what I'll say, so I want to update these nodes specifically into Cling 2.6 using WaveSpeed AI. I will give you the documentation for WaveSpeed AI right after this, but let me know what else you need in order to make this happen. And when we send that off, you can see it reviewed a bit what those nodes are about, and then also asks us some clarifying questions, which we can either answer, or if we already know what we're doing, we can just go straight to giving it the WaveSpeed AI documentation. So now what we want is to give Antigravity context of how to use this model. And the best way to do this, if it's available in these providers, which often it is within their documentation. They usually allow you to copy the content of this API documentation, specifically for agents like Antigravity to digest them. So you can see I just copied that and I just gave all of that context to inform Antigravity on how to update those nodes to the WaveSpeed API endpoints. And there you go. You can see it analyze that documentation, gives a view of what the differences are, and what it's saying now is that it is ready. So I think at this point, we just have it go ahead and update it. And what it's now doing is update the information within these nodes to change them from VO3.1 to Cling 2.6 that is hosted by that WaveSpeed endpoint. And here you can see that apart from the ones that I just gave it, which are these three nodes, it's actually also determined that it needs to update this switch node. And the reason why is because WaveSpeed has a different format when it provides status reports on that video that you are generating, which is essentially what we are using in this switch node in order to check if we should wait a bit more for that video to generate or if it's already ready to be logged into our database. And so now it's confirmed that it was able to update our workflow. If we just refresh this, you can now see if we zoom into this, that now it is posting our request to WaveSpeed instead of KAI. And if we open this node just to inspect it, you now have the right URL for WaveSpeed here using the Cling 2.6 model. And not only that, if you inspect the body itself, it was also able to map those out correctly using the right structure that is required by WaveSpeed. So not only were we able to change the model from VO3.1 to Cling 2.6, we were also able to change the provider. If in case you find that, for example, KAI has a server issue of some sort and you want to switch to WaveSpeed, it is much easier now to do with Antigravity. And by the way, a couple of interesting things that I didn't even prompt it to do, but you can see that it even renamed this HTTP request node to say that it's now using Cling 2.6 instead of VO3.1. And like I mentioned earlier, if we open this switch node, you can see the data point that it is now checking is status, because when we gave it WaveSpeed's documentation, it was also able to identify that that is the right data point to look at. Now, apart from editing workflows, Antigravity also lets you run them. But if, for example, you ask it to try running the workflow, it's probably going to give you a few things to do first. One is currently with this connection, the node that it can trigger to start the automation is only either a webhook, form, or chat trigger. When I was trying it out, the webhook trigger was the one that is working most perfectly. And so what we can just have it do is to do exactly that. Can you add a webhook trigger to this workflow then? Now this edit's relatively easy, so you can actually just do it yourself. But just to illustrate how Antigravity can help us with this, you can see that if I refresh this, it should now have that webhook trigger available for us. And the other thing that is required for our agent to run this workflow is that we need this workflow to be active. And so to do that, you can just publish this workflow. And once that is done, you can just have the agent to try running the workflow. And there you go. Now it's saying that the workflow is running. And if we go to executions, we should now be able to find that run that it triggered for us. And this brings us to why it's actually useful to let your agent run your workflow for you. Because if it errors like this, you can actually just ask Antigravity to check for you why it resulted to an error. Now for this specific one, the fix is actually quite simple. But just to illustrate, let's just have it check what the error is and see if it's something that Antigravity itself can fix. And there you go. It was able to get the details of that run, also able to successfully identify what the core reason is, which is basically just the credential. And there are a lot of things that Antigravity can change and edit for us automatically in n8n, but the credential update is actually not one of them. And obviously this has to do with n8n's security controls. So basically what I forgot to do earlier is to just go back to the editor. And if I open this, you can see that right now I have this still set to my KAI credential. But since we changed that to WaveSpeed, all we need to do is to change it as such. So now that I've changed it, I think the other piece that I also need to change is this other get video node. And now both of those are changed. What we just need to do is to publish this workflow again so that the changes also reflect on Antigravity's side. So now if we try again, it should run the workflow for us once again, and hopefully this time it'll be able to pass along that video request for us. So if we go to executions, you can see this one succeeded, and let's just copy that to editor so we can see properly. And now here we can see the execution details. And if I open this last node, we should now have our final output that is given by Cling 2.6 here. You can see that this video is now made with Cling 2.6 instead of VO 3.1. Now the third thing that Antigravity can help us with is it allows us to fix workflows as well. So let's say you have a more complicated workflow and for some reason there is one or two nodes that whenever you run it, you always run into an error like this. And you can't seem to troubleshoot it or fix it yourself. Well, what you can now do with Antigravity is to literally just ask it to check the executions of this workflow to see what the problem is. So if I just copy the URL or the ID of this workflow and I ask it, hey, can you check the latest executions of this workflow and tell me what went wrong in the most recent execution that resulted to an error? And when it's done, it was able to find the execution in question, what the error is, and also what the root cause is. So basically it's saying that the JSON body has a malformed syntax, specifically this part where there is a comma at the end, which is invalid when it comes to JSON object notations. And coming from this, you can either edit it directly yourself with this updated JSON that Antigravity gave for you, or same as before, you could just have it edit this node directly. The fourth thing that you can do using Antigravity connected to n8n is to create workflows. Now, I put an asterisk here because I think at this point, Antigravity and agentic platforms can create drafts of workflows, but because n8n is so flexible and you can use it in a variety of use cases, very often you would need to guide it on what good looks like in order to get to the outcome that you want. So to illustrate how Antigravity can create workflows, we can simply ask it. So something like, hey, Antigravity, can you create an n8n workflow that takes a YouTube video, gets its transcript, and turns that into a LinkedIn post, which you can schedule to post to LinkedIn automatically. So that is a simple request, but apart from that, a good practice to do is to also ask it to use the n8n skill. And in case you're new to using AI agents, a simple explanation of this is basically they're like power-ups. So you know in games like Super Mario, whenever Mario gets this fire flower, he gets the skill to use fireballs in the gameplay. So that is actually very similar to what we're doing here. So in my instance of Antigravity, I equipped it with a power-up, which is basically the n8n skill. And now it has a bit more context on what great looks like when it comes to building n8n workflows, which is going to help it a lot with the task that we just gave it. And this is actually really simple to set this up, which I will go through in the latter half of this video. So now if we go back to Antigravity, you can see when I fired off that prompt, apart from asking it to make sure to use the n8n skill, I also asked it to make sure to search my workflows for best practices on how to set this up. And with those instructions, what it did is to come up with this implementation plan, which if we click on that and open it, it now gives you a preview of what it is going to do. Now with Antigravity, if you go to their settings, you do have the option to let the agent always proceed with these implementation plans if that's something that you want. So you could just change this review policy setting. That said, since we are creating workflows from scratch, I do advise you to take a look at the implementation plan that it is giving you and check if there are changes that you want made. And what's good about Antigravity is that with this implementation plan that it opened for you, you can actually comment on each of these lines so that your agent knows exactly what you are talking about and referring to. So for this one, instead of a manual trigger, let's do a scheduled trigger that runs at 10 a.m. every day. And we can just add that comment. And then finally, for posting to LinkedIn, since we're already using Blotato, that's also something that we can do. So I want to use Blotato instead. So can you set that up as the final node? So now once you are done providing feedback, what you can now do is to submit these comments. And what the agent will be doing is to look at those comments and now proceed with implementing the plan itself. And you can see what it just did is update its plan so that it replaced the manual trigger with a scheduled trigger. It added the Apify nodes, updated Gemini to 3 Pro, and replaced LinkedIn with Blotato, which is our auto scheduling tool. So now it tells me that the workflow is ready. So if we go to n8n, you can see that the nodes that's set up here are mostly correct, but this is why I put in an asterisk on creating workflows for you from scratch, because even with the skills and even with the smartness of the model that we're using, because every automation is different and n8n can be used in a wealth of use cases, it's very possible that your specific use case will encounter specific issues like what we have here, where basically I think it hallucinated a configuration of a node. That's why it did not render properly in n8n. So this is where your domain knowledge comes in, because if you already know n8n and let's say you want to use Gemini 3, the node that I would put here if this were me is this specific node where we are calling on Gemini 3 in order to craft that LinkedIn post for us. So whenever you encounter issues like these, obviously this is a simple workflow, so you can honestly just do this yourself. But if in case it's a more complex workflow and you need several nodes changed, what I simply did here is copy this error node, paste that there, and you can simply say to Antigravity that this node shows as an error for me. Can you use this node instead? And then you can just copy this node and paste it in the chat. And when you fire that off, it will be able to update that workflow for you automatically, just like what we did earlier. And so if we refresh that workflow, you can now see that it was able to create this workflow from us, but it did require us to provide it some guidance in order to do so. So now the good news is with Antigravity, it's actually really easy to connect it to n8n because there are only two steps that are involved. The first one is we'll be connecting Antigravity to n8n via its MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. Basically, it's just a way by which these agents can connect to these tools much more seamlessly. And then the second step is to install n8n skills to Antigravity to scale it up and power it up. And interestingly, the best MCP right now for n8n is actually community created and open source. So if you go to this n8n MCP GitHub, which I'll include in the link below, this is actually a very robust n8n MCP connection that was developed by Romwald here. So check out his YouTube channel because I think he is doing really good work. And to set it up in Antigravity, what's great about these platforms is that you can actually just ask the agent on how to do that. So if we just paste the link to the GitHub here and ask, hey, how do I set up this MCP? What it will do for you is give you step-by-step the instructions on how to do that. Now you can follow the steps that it gives you, but basically to do this, you just need to click on additional options here, click on MCP servers. And then when you click on manage MCP servers, you can see I already have it installed here. But the way that I did that is by clicking on this view raw config. And then all you need to do is to paste this JSON body, which by the way, if I go back to the agent, it also gave for us. So you can just copy that. But do note that if you are on a self-hosted version, it will probably look something like this. But if you're using n8n on the cloud, then all you need to do really is to grab your n8n URL and place it in these URL fields. And finally, you would need your n8n API key, which you would paste here. And to find that API key in n8n, just go to settings, click on n8n API. And here you can create an API key that you can copy into that field. So once you are done with that, make sure to hit Control S to save it. You will most likely need to exit Antigravity and restart it. And then when you go back to this page and click refresh, you'll be able to see that the n8n MCP is now turned on. And now the next thing we need to do is to install n8n skills. And this skill set for n8n was developed also by the same person, by the way, and it is also very robust. If you can see here and look at the skills, it has a lot of guidance for your agents around the expression syntax, node configuration, and a lot of things that you can just have your agent sort of absorb in order to instantly learn how to work with n8n. Now, same as before, you can just paste that link and ask your Antigravity to install this skill for you. But at the time of this recording, when you try to install a skill in Antigravity, it does seem to have trouble finding out which folder in your local device, in your computer, to put it in. And I think that's just because skills for Antigravity is relatively new. It was only released just a few days ago. But if you look at Google's documentation, you can see here that you can either install skills globally, meaning all of your workspaces and all of your future projects will be able to access this skill, or you can just install it to this specific workspace or project. But essentially, I do advise you to also include that documentation link when you request Antigravity to install this n8n skill, because that will just help it to figure out what to do and where to put it in. So if I ask it now to install the n8n skills, just make sure to check the Antigravity docs on where to put it in. I want to be able to use this globally across all of my workspaces. And when you send that, what it's essentially going to do is to copy all of those files from GitHub and pull them into your local computer. If in case you don't have Git, which is sort of the software that allows you to get stuff from GitHub, it will likely ask you to install that as well. And that is completely free and something you just need to install once, and you'll be able to do this without problems. And when you are successful, you should now see and confirm that Antigravity can detect those 7 n8n skills that it should now be able to use whenever it deems necessary or whenever you ask it to. And as mentioned, all of the resources we featured here you can access inside the RoboNuggets community, which if you're passionate about creating with AI and want to earn from that passion, then I encourage you to check it out. You get a lot of exclusive AI training courses here, including training certification when you complete them. You can connect with a community of 1,000 plus AI practitioners who share paid opportunities and potential partnerships. And recently, we also teamed up with 570 plus of the top AI and SaaS tools to give massive savings and free credits for our annual members, which actually already cover the cost of membership. So check that out to see if that's for you, just in the link down below. And also, if you found value in this video, then consider subscribing because that helps us a lot to make more educational content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.